Hey guys! Guys, guess what? I'm sick. My voice might sound a pitch towards being manly, but guys, my voice was so bad a few days ago. This is great compared to that. But yeah, I didn't think we were gonna have a fall reading vlog because time management in the garbage, motivation in the garbage. So I just didn't think I was gonna be able to read, but I have been doing good with managing my time and doing my assignments. And by that, I mean literally this week is when I started doing that. Nonetheless, I have been reading and I'm gonna give you guys some updates. So we got this lame book. I'm still reading it, y'all, but I'm 50% into it. Sacred Nature, Karen Armstrong. I don't like this book. It's just her giving us a bunch of religion backgrounds and religion processes and then tying it all together. Every single chapter, this is why we have to preserve nature and preserve the earth, which I understand, 100% agree, but it's getting repetitive and I don't like it. I'm actually gonna read that right now. And then I've also been reading Next of Kin on my iPad, and that is on my fall TBR. And let me just say, not really liking it. I'm 50 pages into it, and I know some people don't even give books 50 pages to, win them over. If it's not good after chapter 1, they're not reading it. I give the whole book a chance to prove itself to me. But no, first of all, I think the premise is interesting. That's not really done in romance books where it's dealing with the foster care system and custody and adoption, stuff like that. And I think that process is interesting to read about in a romance setting. But then I was like, okay, where's the romance? The romance came and it's coming and I'm not really for it. Our main girl, Chloe, she's kind of sunshine-ish, to put her in a trope. And then our main guy, Warren, is kind of more grumpy. So there's that. But what I really don't understand is, and I think where my distaste is forming, is they're living together. And the only reason why they're living together is because Chloe has custody over her baby sister. She didn't pass the financial evaluation to be able to have full custody of her. And then Warren has custody of his brother Luke, but he didn't pass the housing evaluation to be able to have full custody. So there's this program where it's like, hey, if you're lacking in one thing and I'm like succeeding in another, like we could like come together and like basically benefit each other. Warren lacking housing but has financial. Chloe lacking financial has housing. So they're like, okay, come together, live together, and y'all can have custody of your siblings. So that's why they're living together. But they're kind of butting heads. Like the first meeting, butt heads. It was definitely giving like enemies to lovers. A scene happened where Warren was moving into the apartment and his friend hit Chloe in the nose by accident. And he was like, oh my god, let me see your nose. Do you have to go to the hospital? And like he was just like being like so like erratic over it. And Chloe was just like, girl, I'm okay, like I'm fine, like let me just take care of it. Acting so erratic. Even hours after, he was like, oh my god, like let me just see your nose, like are you okay? If someone was doing that, like you would think, oh my god, like they care, like thank you. And that's nice. And then something else happened. She had like gotten back from, I think, seeing her sister in the hospital, right? And he was like, where'd you go? I thought you were gonna be gone longer. She was like, no, I'm here. He looked her up and down and he said, did you have fun? I don't forget what she said. And then he said, I hope not too much. Something. He said something along those lines. And then tell me why after that scene, he's like,
we're never going to be friends.
Bitch, we're never gonna be friends. He's the main one being friendly. You're acting erratic, you're overreacting, you're being crazy. You're the one who's asking me about my nose that your friend hurt, your friend made bleed. You're constantly asking me to keep seeing the nose, and then you're making these weird ass comments after I get home from seeing my baby sister in the NICU. And then you have the nerve to say, oh, we'll never be friends, so don't even try it. Are you okay? How did you pass that psychological evaluation? Because you're getting crazy. Because how are you just going to switch up like that? And that's why I'm not liking him. And I understand it's probably like enemies to lovers trope. And it's like distaste and they're going to be arguing and shit like that. And then like lovers. But it's just like that genuinely just like pissed me off. Oh my God. So he said all that shit, right? And then Chloe was like, then get off my couch. And then he said something along the lines of like, oh, like I'm never gonna need anything from you or Luke, his brother. It's like, Why are you being like this? You're in my home and you're being disrespectful and rude to me? The switch up is crazy. I don't know. Maybe it's been a while since I've read a book like this and I'm just like, what the fuck? But I'll let y'all know. But that genuinely pissed me off. Warren side eye. But I'm glad Chloe told that man to get off her couch. Like, what the fuck do you think you're doing? If you're gonna be rude and nasty to me, leave. Thank you. All right, I'll let you guys know updates. Y'all, so like I said, I've been reading Next of Kin. And remember when I said that I wasn't liking it, or like, you know, I had my issues? Issues no more. Issues went out the window. Y'all, when I tell you, this kicked up a notch. This book kicked up a notch. Miss Hannah Bonham Young. I get it. I understand now. Thank you. So y'all, let me tell you, from where I left off, basically. So I realized what I just recorded is basically all spoilers. So for non-spoilers, basically what I would say is I started out not liking him. Now, he has his moments where I definitely don't like Warren because of just like the way he goes about things, but there's a reason why he does the things he does, says the things he says. I think it's very much of a like kind of like protecting himself and not wanting to like get hurt. You know, he kind of puts up his own walls. It's kind of like he's hurting himself in the process. But that's really it. I also think the story of just like going through CPS, girl, I never read anything like this before. I never really dove into it. I just know it's a hard process for kids to go through, and it's very much, it needs some work, it needs some TLC. But yeah, like I said before, reading it in a romantic setting is interesting. I'm interested in Chloe's story with her sister and how that's turning out just as much as I am with the romance as well. So thank you, Hannah. Warren said they weren't friends, right? Next thing you know, he's asking her if he can throw a party because his birthday's coming up. She's like, sure, it's your house too. He throws this party. She comes down. Mind you, Chloe has a little boo thing on the side. The nurse that was taking care of her little sister at the hospital. And the nurse is going to be coming over because the nurse likes Chloe. So she already had her plans, but turns out the nurse cancels. He has something that he has to do. So now Chloe's in the house while Warren is having his birthday party with his friends. So she decides to go downstairs, and then they're like, no, like, come on, like, join the party. So she starts joining the party. This weird ass guy starts like making some moves on her. Warren's not really feeling it. And then next thing you know, they pull out some booger sugar. Are we serious? Wait, because why are we pulling out hard drugs? What? So then she shuts the thing down, as she should, because like, girl, like, my baby sister's upstairs sleeping. She just got out the NICU and you're doing drugs? So imagine, I was pissed off at Warren because I was like, how are you going to let these bums, these hooligans come into your space and do drugs with a baby in the house? Turns out he didn't even know that they had drugs on him. Girl, what? You got to know your friends better, babe. Turns out he didn't even know these people. So you're telling me that you brought strangers into the house. You're not helping your case. You're getting kicked out. But why, after that whole thing went down, the most perfect scene happened after that? Completely won me over, completely changed my whole perspective about the book, completely fell in love with it. Why was I reading 100 pages straight? I was addicted. I couldn't stop reading if I wanted to, but I had to stop. I did some homework. Now I'm about to get back into it. Y'all, the book, I'm almost done with the book. I think I'm like 60% into the book. What? It's getting really good. I think I'm gonna finish it tomorrow. It's pretty short, so I'll let you guys know when I finish it. But it's good. I like it. Thank you, Hannah. Hey guys, so I'm here with updates finally. I don't know the last time I updated you. Oh, it was when I started Next of Kin. So I think it's been like maybe a week, maybe 2 weeks since that update, but I have finished Next of Kin. I'm going to give it 4.5 stars. Let me tell you guys something. Miss Hannah Bonham Young, new favorite author. Are we serious? As we know from the beginning of this video, from the beginning of when I started that book, I wasn't really rocking with it. Warren was pushing me the wrong way. Truly didn't understand it, truly didn't get it. Now, finishing the book, I understand that's just, you know, a part of his character, the need for character development. I had to hate him before I could love him. I really enjoyed this book, and I really enjoyed the whole custody, the whole CPS, that whole aspect. I think I said this before, but I've never read a book dealing with that subject before, and exploring that within a romance book I thought was really interesting and kept me reading it. The romance, really good. I love how Miss Young depicted scenes. I like how she wrote Warren and Chloe's love. I love all their scenes together and everything like that. What's making me want to continue reading Hannah Bonham Young's writing is the fact that she always includes LGBTQ plus, marginalized people, disabled people, people who are not seen in romance books but who are in our world, people who exist in our life, in our reality, but they're not seen a lot in romance books. That's a little weird, side eye. But Hannah includes those people's stories in there, and I think that's a beautiful thing. So I'm gonna definitely keep reading her books. Another thing that I really liked in this book specifically was the writing. I think it juggled being funny, cute, romantic, kind of freaky and nasty, but also serious, and dealing with serious topics. Like Warren's brother is deaf, and they also have like a tainted relationship with their father because he is a piece of shit, and just dealing with that storyline too. Like, another big part of the book was also Chloe's relationship with her mom, the whole reason why she has Willow, the baby, in the first place, and we got to see her journey with that too, and going from very much resenting her to accepting her. Ooh, it wasn't even a long book. It was like not even 300 pages, but it was just so thought out and explored different aspects. It wasn't all about Warren and Chloe. Of course, they were the main focal point, and we got a lot of their story, but I also like that we dove into Warren's brother. We got to see Chloe's friends. We got to see a little bit of Warren's life too. So I think everything was just well balanced, and I had a good time with it. Another update, still reading this book, but I'm going to be finishing it pretty soon, like in a few days.
Because I have to.
But yeah, I'm like, maybe I am 80% of this book. Anyway, I only have like 2 chapters left, and then I'm done. So that can be put away. But for my next read, I think I'm gonna read either Out on a Limb by Hannah Bonham Young, The Striker by Anna Huang, because guys, I might be joining a book club. I tried to join a book club in high school, but listen, I read the first book that we had to read and then I dipped, because one thing I don't like to do is being told what to read, when to read it. You know what I mean? Absolutely not. It's different when I tell myself that, because, well, first of all, I'm going to pick out books that I am interested in, right? And a lot of the books that the book club was reading was like, sorry, books that I'm just not interested in. Like, sorry, I read for fun. I do have my serious literary fiction. I do have my non-fictions that I do like to dive into, but for the most part, we know what I like to read. I like to read romance, fantasy, and historical fiction books. So I dipped. But this book club is looking like it reads the same kind of books that I do. So they picked out The Striker by Anna Huang. I have heard nothing about this. I just know it's a college romance book. If it is hockey, girl, I'm going to strike this book down, actually. But hopefully it's not hockey. But yeah, I might read that next, the Out on a Limb book. Or I've been seeing a lot of The Sweetest Oblivion on my For You page. And as we know, 5 stars. I read that 2 years ago. All-time favorite book. The best mafia book I think I've ever read and will ever read. Best mafia book ever written. Thank you. So I've been kind of wanting those vibes. So I don't know what I'm going to read, but I'll let you guys know. Ew, what's up guys? So it's been a while. I always say this when I come on here. It's been a while. Yeah, we know, but book updates, y'all. It's final season is coming up. It should be illegal. This should be considered abuse. The amount of work I have to do. I don't know if I told you guys this, but I'm reading this book. It's called The New Cosmic Story by John F. Hott. I have a book report coming on. What? I have to... Am I okay? My brain is literally fried. I have a book report coming up, so I gotta read this. I'm not really liking it. And like, partly because I don't want to read it. And then also, it's like the things he's saying, I don't agree with. Or the things he's bringing up, I guess concepts, I don't really rock with. So yeah, this sucks. Can't wait to be done with that stupid class. But then, y'all, I bought the physical version of The Striker by Anna Huang. And I was going to read this a different kind of way, but then me and my friend were joining this book club, and we went to Barnes & Noble and we got the physical copy so it can cause us to like read it. And I thought the book meeting was this week, and I was like, how am I going to read a 600-page book in like 6 days? But turns out it's like, I think 2 or 3 weeks from today. That gives me time to read this and enjoy it as well. So yeah, hopefully it's good. I read a few scenes when I was in Barnes & Noble. I don't know, guys. This is like a sports romance book. I think it's like Brother's Best Friend, maybe? No, I think this is Brother's Best Friend, so it's probably going to be some forbiddenness, like hidden shit going on between the two of them. It's also like a sports college romance going on in, I think the UK. If I'm wrong, shoot me. I must not be wrong. I might do a dedicated reading vlog on this because it's 600 pages. Like, girl, what? I'm curious. I'm gonna do some homework right now, and then I'm gonna try and get 100 pages into it tonight. Let's see if that happens, but I'll let you guys know whenever I make some progress into this book. Hey guys, so it's like 12 in the morning on a school night. My mom got me this, I don't even know what this is called, press, but it's like one of those things where you press it into your book and it says like from the library of your name. So I'm doing that right now to my favorite books. So y'all want to watch? Long time no see. I mean, for you, no. For me, yeah? Anyway, I've been reading The Striker by Anna Huang. Y'all, it's about this footballer, Asher Donovan, and he has this rival. His name is Vincent, and they're on the same team. And then the coach is like, all right, you guys need to go like do like bonding exercises because y'all are acting a fool, because their little rivalry cost them the championship. So he sends them to this ballet academy to like do bonding and I guess also training. And the ballet instructor who's going to be, you know, facilitating their training is Vincent's sister. And Asher is taking a liking to Vincent's sister, who is also the trainer. And yeah, so it's kind of like a rival's sister. From Scarlett's point of view, brother's rival. Okay. The first 50 pages, a little boring. I was like, all right, so this is going to be a snooze fest, but why am I screaming, giggling, and laughing 100 pages in? I'm 134 pages in. I am using this book as a reward system, being as though I, you know, do my note cards, I study, and then I get to read this book. Something is in the water. Something is festering. Anna Huang, she might be eating with this book, but the thing is, I went on Goodreads and I saw a lot of people aren't really messing with it. I'm seeing 1 star, 3 star. What? Oh, I'm liking it so far. I'm definitely going to try and get my stuff out of the way so I can dedicate the rest of my day, night to this book. I have like a week left to finish this book, and at the pace that this book is going, I don't think that's gonna be a problem. Now, it is like 570 pages, so I don't know what's gonna happen. Like, I don't know why it's 500 plus pages, so it might like plateau in some parts, but we'll see. I'll give you guys updates if anything changes positively or negatively.
No what?
Negatively. I'm afraid I have negative news. I got to page 224 and I decided to stop. Like I said in the clip before, I was addicted to this book. I couldn't stop reading it. I was using it as a reward system, right? Yeah, but then I got to when they start, you know, getting intimate, getting nasty, kinky, and freaky. So the before banter was okay. You know, I was enjoying that. But then they got physical and I physically got sick. Like, that scene was just so like anticlimactic and just so poorly done. I'm like, what am I reading right now? Why is he talking like this? it just put me off so bad. I did not like it. And then I'm like, girl, I don't want to read about her getting bacon from him in the morning. Like, I hated the before. Why would I like the after? I'm going to continue reading this because I'm almost 50% through and I bought this book. But Ana Huang, do not give me another lackluster, bland scene like that ever again. Do we know Christian Harper, Twisted Love? Games, Hate. What the fuck? What's the green one called? Guys, I love that book. Twisted Lies. Are we forgetting how Reese acted? Like, I'm very confused. How can we write someone like Christian Harper and then Asher Donovan acts like this? Like, I don't know if she's writing the way he is speaking, like, because of his persona, the way, he's a footballer, he's an athlete, maybe, but I can kind of see where the lackluster stars are coming from because, girl, what the fuck was that scene? I might be being dramatic, but I didn't really like it. I'm going to continue this. Will I have a good time? I don't know. I'm back, y'all. So it's been a long time. I think probably a month. I'm always coming at you guys every month. What? Anyway. Book updates. I think I've been reading the same 2 books. I am more than 50% through this Cosmic Story book. I have 2 more chapters and I'm done. Thank God. And then The Striker. So if you guys remember, I had to read this for a book club book. Oops. Missed the meeting entirely. I had class during the meeting. Pissed off, but it's okay. So I think the last thing I told you guys was that, like, I really liked this book, but then it started to get, how do you say, como se dice? Not my cup of tea. Things started going a little downhill, but I can say that things have picked up. This book is almost 600 pages long, so my theory was right in that, like, this had to plateau somewhere. There had to be some spots where it was going to lag, and it was very much lagging in some parts, but now we picked up the pace. Now things are happening. I only have this much left. I have like 140 pages left, so I'm planning on finishing this tonight. If I had to say something without spoilers, I would say if you're going to start off with Ana Huang, you can start with this because everything else that you read will probably be better. So if you want to start off with a little mediocre, you can start with this. But I want to say, like, if you want to start top notch, you can start the Twisted series. And even when you start the Twisted series, it's going to be a roller coaster. It's not going to be linear, like, oh my God, everything just keeps getting better. For me personally, it was down, up, down, up. And this is bringing Ana Huang back down, but we'll see. So, I feel like I'm always coming to you with a different hairstyle. Like, we started out this video, I think with braids, right? That shows you I've been filming this video for almost 3 months. And then I had my afro, and then I had straight hair. Like, finish the video. But guys, we're almost done with the fall reading vlog, because isn't fall almost over? Hey Siri, when is fall over?
Fall began the 22nd of September and ends the 21st of December.
So, fall is actually not close to being over. I lied. How are we still in fall in December? Does that make sense? Anyway, but nonetheless, I finished The Striker by Ana Huang. I think I've mentioned this, but I'm pissed and I'm mad. First of all, I spent money on this. I spent real American dollars on this book so I could read it in preparation for a book club meeting. I read it. First of all, I didn't even finish it by the time of the book club. Part of the reason why I didn't finish it, I didn't feel pressure to finish it, is because I was gonna miss the meeting. Thanks. So when I first got this book, the meeting was set to 3 weeks from that day, and it was at night. So I was like, okay, I can do that. And then it got changed to like more towards the afternoon, and I literally have classes in the afternoon. So I was like, that's great. So I can't make it. So I virtually read this for no reason, because did I enjoy it? Not really. I'm giving this 3.5 stars. So it was okay. Like, I didn't really enjoy it. I didn't enjoy it. I paid real money and I missed the fucking meeting. So what's the point of it all? Yeah, now I'm pissed, and you guys, I'm not going to be continuing going to that meeting because the next book they're reading I have no interest in. We'll see. Maybe the next book in February. So what's really going on? Back to this book. So 3.5 stars. Why didn't I enjoy it? So this book was almost 600 pages long. What the fuck? I really was like on page 480 and I was just like, why is this book so long? I always feel that way when I'm reading longer books. What the fuck happened? Like, genuinely, I'm really trying to think. Because, like, was it a slow burn? Not, not really. Like, they did stuff 100 pages in, right? Okay, so they kissed 164 pages in, okay? Which, to me, out of 500, almost 600 pages, that's not slow burn to me. I would say, like, their pacing was kind of slow, but I also feel like this was long because a lot of things were also included, like our main character's ballet stuff and her injury, and then Asher and playing football and like his tendency to be very reckless and not think things through. So we have a lot of stuff going behind the scenes, and I feel like since this is the beginning of a new series she's doing, she was introducing characters and relationships and just different things like that that's probably most likely going to be carrying the series further. But I can already see definitely like the setup of other books, other relationships happening. Another big thing is I feel like they weren't in love. Like, I didn't feel the chemistry between them. There were lines that were like, oh, that's so cute, I love that, but I wish I actually felt like it was real. Like, I feel like because they kissed like 160 pages in, I just wish we spent more time building that up. Like, I know they had moments where they were together and they were just like watching movies, but like I wanted more time together before we kissed. Or even y'all can kiss, but then afterwards, like, let's build something. I feel like that didn't happen. We also got cameos of Twisted Hate, which I didn't expect. Why isn't Bridget and Reese in here? Why are Jules and Josh in this hoe? There was also Isabella and Kai, which I don't know who those people are, but I'm assuming they're from maybe King of Something, that series. And then I think Bridget and Reese were mentioned, and then King of Envy was mentioned, which is going to be coming out later. And I think that's it. I might be forgetting other people. But yeah, how I feel about this book. It lagged. I said this before. I didn't really care about something. So in turn, yeah, it's gonna feel like it's pretty slow. The relationship, mediocre to me. I've read better. You've written better. Christian was also mentioned, I forgot. But you have Christian and Stella. How am I gonna read that masterpiece and then read, like, you can't do that. You can't. This was okay. This wasn't the best thing I ever read. She's definitely written better. And the whole thing was basically like rival's sister and that forbidden aspect, right? Which, I'm not gonna lie, I liked. It was funny. The brother was funny. Just like him interacting with Asher was funny. I like that. In terms of like who, like Asher, like he's trying to be funny. It's not funny. He's trying to be nasty, kinky, and freaky. I didn't like it. The big like third act conflict. I didn't even think we were gonna have a third act conflict, but we did. I guess, yeah, it was justifiable. He gave away all his cars. Oh my god. Bitch, I would be like, get your cars back. Just don't race. Like, that's stupid. But yeah, if I have any other thoughts, I'll definitely cut in here. But those are my sentiments right now. Mediocre 3.5. Thank you so much, Ana Huang. Thank you so much. You are a big book and you're going to take up so much space on my bookshelf. This is why we read online. Anyway, and then I also made some progress in that new Cosmic Story. I'm going to be finishing that this week and then we'll be finishing the vlog. I don't even know if I have anything productive to say about that stupid book, but we'll see. I'm here to wrap up the video. I'm happy because this has been going on for a long time. Why did I just look back at the footage and I'm literally wearing the same thing I wore in like the last clip, and it's like the same positioning of the camera too. Guys, I swear this is a different day, but I managed to finish these 4 books within 3 months, and yeah, I plan to have a strong ending to 2024 and have an even better beginning of 2025. That 8, someone put that on something and credit me. I'm gonna do a little wrap up. Okay, so first book I read in this video, Next of Kin. I rated this a 4.5 stars. This was good. I really like it. As we know from the beginning, not my favorite thing, because Warren, he was really throwing me off. I hadn't read a book in a bit, so the things that he was doing was really throwing me off. It was really making me be like, so how are we going to come back from this? What's going to happen to get us to the place where I'm like, oh, I love him. Oh, I need him. I want him. I need him in real life. Oh, I'm so happy for Warren and Chloe. So Miss Hannah Bonham Young delivered. She did what she had to do. She made me go from, oh, I hate this man to, oh, I need him. And I think if if you have that capability, then there's something really strong and valuable to that, right?
What am I talking about?
Nonetheless, I really enjoyed this book. I love, like I've been saying this whole video, the custody and the fostering element of this book, and then the romance was written so well. I feel like the things that I wanted to happen, I'm like, oh, it would be so cute if this happened. And then it happened. I was like, did I write the book or is she reading my mind? It felt real. I could feel the connection. I wanted them to be together. I was rooting for them. I also did really like Chloe and her journey as well. I thought the third act conflict really just wasn't, it was justifiable, but just the way it was solved, it was just giving a little bit of eye roll. That's that on that book. Now we have all physical books. So we have Sacred Nature by Karen Armstrong. I honestly forgot I read this book in this video because I was watching it back and I was like, did I ever conclude that I finished this book? No. That's how meaningless, useless, and the lack of value it has in my life. But nonetheless, I did finish this book. I think I'm in between 1 star and 2 stars because I didn't enjoy this book. I feel like every single chapter was like an introduction to a new religion or a new tradition or culture that I just didn't know about, which, you know, is fine. I enjoyed learning everything new that I didn't know. But then she would always connect it to how this is why we have to treat nature as sacred. Treat nature as we are a part of it, right? Of course, I agree. But she did that every single chapter. Every single chapter. Yeah, repetitive, boring, I don't like it. On to something a little more exciting. The Striker by Anna Huang. I gave this 3.5 stars. I think I already went over how I feel about this book, so I'll just give a very short synopsis. I feel like this book had the materials, had the ingredients, had the instructions to maybe do better, but it just didn't. I feel like this was a book, this is the first book in the series, so it's like a stomping ground, it's like a foundation. It's going to lay out the characters that are going to be coming up, the setup of the future relationships, and also we're focusing on the main relationship and how those characters are, their individuality, what problems are they going with separate out of the relationship. So I had to switch cameras because it's getting bad. It's getting too much. My phone doesn't have storage. I don't have time for this. So let's just continue on the map. I don't know where it cut me off. The main focus of this book, which was the relationship between Scarlett and Asher. And that I didn't like because I just didn't feel the chemistry. I didn't care about them. The tension in like the beginning, first 100 pages, 150, good. I'm like, okay, like I can see where this is going. But then when we got to like the sex scene, girl, what the fuck is this? No, nothing. No heat, nothing. And I'm not even talking about like, oh, it was spicy. No, I don't care about that. I care about, does this scene feel like it's needed in the book and does it add something? Does this scene represent like their love and their connection? And no, because it's just the things he was saying, I don't like that. I didn't feel anything from the scene. I was just like, what the fuck? I skimmed it afterwards. Don't need to see that. The bathtub, I don't need to read that either. No, thank you. I think the fun thing about this book was hiding it from the brother. I did like that. And it was just funny. I don't want to spoil it, so I won't go into detail. But I feel like maybe I don't even really like this book that much because this is the same score I gave to Twisted Love. I feel like maybe a 3 would suffice. Maybe a 2.75. Maybe a 2.5. I really don't care about this book. And I should have known, and I actually did know before I started this. I was like, I don't like sports romance anymore. I just don't. So this isn't a surprise that I didn't like it. But I thought An Huang was going to change my perception. She didn't. So, like, rude and mean. The last worthless, stupid book that I'll never get time back from reading. The New Cosmic Story by John F. Hutt. Rest in peace, King. This book just explored different ways and point of views of, I guess, looking at the story of the universe, how the universe was created, the cosmos and everything. And he goes into different, like, sets of, I don't want to say beliefs, but, like, each chapter is called, like, prayerfulness, transcendence, wrongness. He has these big ideas, and then he implements different ways of how certain people look at transcendence, look at happiness. But again, it is so repetitive, just like in Sacred Nature. Like, there's these 3 views that he talked about throughout the whole book, and each situation he applied to each of those 3 views, and it was so similar because, yeah, those views are similar to how they're going to approach happiness, how they're going to approach prayerfulness, how they're going to approach, I don't remember the other chapters in this book because it's forgettable. So if the ways that these views are going to look at these certain ideas, then yeah, I can kind of guess how this whole book is going to go. So it was just a big waste of time. I hated it. I didn't enjoy it. Of course, when I read books like these like philosophy books, I do get stuff from them. I do take away some things, but at the end of the day, like, no. Because when we start talking about the cosmos and stuff, girl, I don't care. The one book that I would recommend and I really do like is Alan Watts' The Book. I recommend it because he takes like ideas and concepts that we already know about, or like the most like literally like if you know nothing about philosophy or even religion, he takes like the most basic concepts and he will rewrite them or just make you see it in a different way, and it's really cool, and I really am inspired by that book. That's the only book from this class that really impacted me. These other two, girl, these can go in the garbage, but I paid money for them, so I'm not gonna do that. But that's gonna be it for my wrap up in this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I will be back soon with maybe like a final like reading vlog of the year, because I still have to catch up on my reading goal. I have to read like 3 more books, so I'll probably do a video on that. But until then, I'll see you guys in the next one.